We are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to talk about SR, seed retention and fapping. You guys love this topic. So let's talk about it. This is a reaction to iamlucid's I'm 15 and I fap 4 times a day. This is one of his subscribers that basically sent him a text message and explained the situation, and iamlucid is basically responding, giving him some advice, although he's not a coach or a therapist or whatever it is, basically he mentions. So let's see what I would say instead. I've watched it already, but it was a couple of weeks ago, so let's get going.
I'm 15 and I live in Detroit, Michigan. Not sure if that was necessary. I won't explain much, but I'm addicted to pee. Extremely addicted. I've discovered it when I was 13 and I've been on it ever since, averaging to doing it 4+ times a day, sometimes even 6. I've watched your videos on things such as relapse, your progress videos, nofap, etc. I always tune into your stream. I've been extremely motivated to make change lately, but these past 2 months I've been trying to start. I've been relapsing over and over again. I can't seem to get that thought out of my head. I can't seem to dig my way out of this deep dark hole I've been placed in. I've been forced to avoid girls, people, social interaction. It's taken my life to a point I can't even control my right hand. I'm in dire need of help. It's affecting my mental state and the people around it. Please give me some inspiration and tips. Brother, I think the last thing that you need is inspiration and tips. If you've watched all of my nofap videos, if you've watched other YouTubers' nofap videos, if you've looked up help, if you've checked the nofap Reddit, and if you've checked people's posts about it online, and nothing seemed to help you, listen, you really have to realize you're 15 years old. You're a child. You're a kid. You're 15. You found out about pee when you were 13, which is not good by any means, but it seems to be the average age in America when kids find out about pee.
I'm surprised by that age, to be honest. Like, most of the guys that I know, including myself, found it when they were kind of 11. That's kind of when it got interesting. But at the same time, though, not really for me, because times were a bit easier than when we didn't have smartphones. Okay, you guys have a really hard time these days, so I get you. But but I think 13 is quite late. But maybe that is what's normal.
It seems to be like, as far as what I've seen, most people were exposed between ages 10 to 14, somewhere in the middle being 12 and 13 being the most popular. And this is not good. I don't understand how in this country you have to show your ID to buy a pack of cigarettes, but anybody with an internet connection can go watch 2 people having sex. It makes no sense to me. There has to be more rules and laws and regulations on it, because if they put you through hell to buy a pack of cigarettes, right? If you have to leave your house, go to a gas station, show some ID, and then pay money, no, this shit is free. It's on your iPad, your phone, your iPod, whatever device you have that has internet access. You can watch it. There's an unlimited amount of it, and it's free. And
okay, first of all, let's just handle this one. Should pee be illegal? Okay, the stuff that people watch. Obviously, I'm just trying to keep this video monetized somehow. And my answer is, nothing should be illegal if it is consensual. Okay, meaning if people want to do something and people want to offer something and it's a win-win in that transaction, then it should be legal. Okay, from a libertarian standpoint, I'm not for a regulation and we should do this and we should watch out for this and we should watch out for this. No, parents are responsible for their own kids. Okay, and they need to make sure that their kids understand the importance of these things, etc. Okay, so just wanted to clear that one up. I don't think that pee should be illegal. It's up to us to make the law within, okay? Like to live by the law within. It's not good to watch that stuff, but it shouldn't be a pressure put on by a higher power, meaning the government, to tell us to, oh, you're not allowed to do that. You need to show identification and blah, 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 because they can use that power for worse things later. Okay, so having said that, in terms of his age, he can't control himself. He does it 4 times a day, sometimes 6 times a day. It's hindering his mental state. His social anxiety is increasing, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep going.
You can watch it right now. So comparing it to cigarettes, like, they put so much regulation on that, but they let anybody watch porn. Makes no sense to me. So I don't blame you at all for being an addict. I don't blame you for watching it at least one time. It's not your fault. You probably went from playing Miniclip and Club Penguin, watching Fortnite videos or even Roblox videos, to watching 2 people having sex by clicking on an ad by accident, right? This is not your
This video was never going to be monetized in the first place.
fault. It's not you that made the wrong choice here. You're a kid. If you click it, if you see it, you're going to click it. So you don't need inspiration and tips. That's the last thing that you need, my man. You need.
Okay, I wanted to say something on that one. I actually think he does need inspiration and tips. Okay? You have to follow people who have been there, done that, and who understand what it takes in order for you to get out of it. Like, if he doesn't get inspiration and tips from anyone, what does he need? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's two opposing forces. You have the desire, the body's desire to actually watch that stuff, which is, by the way, an emotional need for men. It's an emotional need to see that in action, okay? As guys, we need it, we want it, etc. But we shouldn't be wanting the fake stuff, the stuff with women that we don't have in our own lives. Like, that stuff should become real in the future when we've deserved it, as a reward and in a family setting, so that you can keep it for life, okay? So it's a good thing, but it's bad when we begin to watch other people do it and become spectators of it and it's not ours, okay? And it also messes up our dopamine receptors. It causes us to reward ourselves too early, and as a result, we become addicted to it, and then it's just a massive downward spiral from there. We shouldn't have it in our lives at all, okay? So having said that, he does need help though. And he needs tips and he needs inspiration. I said that there's one, that's that sexual desire that men have, okay? The body. And then you have the other aspect, which is basically the mind, right? His mind doesn't want to do it. His body really wants to do it, and it's persuading his mind to do it, okay? Because his body can't do anything without the assistance of the mind, right? So body has more power over the mind. The mind submits to the power of the body and says, okay, I will do. And then he goes off and does and becomes addicted to the process. You have the opposite side, which is then the mind actually having power over the body. Now, this is excellent, okay? This is where we all want to get to. This is masculinity and femininity simply explained. Femininity is body, okay? It's emotion. That's what the body is. It's just a bunch of emotions, okay? You touch somewhere, you get an emotion, right? There's something, okay, so you get that. Masculinity is the mind, okay? Where you are able now to control your thoughts, your emotions, your body submits to the mind, and you're able to control your behavior. See, so the only thing this kid needs to understand is that masculinity is the end goal, okay? Like, PMO is the least of your problems. Although it's the biggest problem that's taking up the entire thing in your entire life right now, and you want to get rid of it, you want to be saved, okay? It's the least of your problems. You're making it a bigger problem than it actually is. Which is very interesting coming from me, because I help clients, all that stuff. What do I actually mean by that? Someone who's been addicted for years and trying to get rid of all that stuff, like, how can I tell them that it's the least of their problems? It's because you're making it a bigger problem than it is, because your real problem is not understanding masculinity. Your real problem is not moving towards masculinity. Your real problem is being stuck in your home watching that stuff, okay? And fapping. Most people, okay, 98 to 99% of the times that people do that crap, it's inside the four walls of their own home, very often their own room. Isn't that correct? Okay? Like, or in the bathroom, or in the shower, wherever it is that you do it, it's very often inside your house. So what we need to do is to, instead of being secluded in there, in our own house, we need to be men of action. There's not much action going on at home, which means that we're looking for action, right? So instead of looking for action in the home, we need to go out and actually produce action. Do you get what I'm saying? Like produce action, and when I mean action and outside the home, I'm talking about service to other people. I'm talking about serving the masses. I'm talking about solving problems. I'm talking about becoming someone who you're proud of becoming. You can't do that at home. Obviously, you can if you have a laptop and if you have a phone and you can actually serve people that way, because of technology. But the problem is that if you start from that angle and you're addicted to PMO, you're never going to serve the masses on your phone or your computer, in your room, in your home, in your garage, whatever you're trying to do, because you're distracted by the beautiful women that you find in your room, on your screen. Like, my goal is to help you to think masculinity and to understand what masculinity looks like and begin to massively move towards it. And if you do actually the things that I teach you on this channel, PMO is going to be the last thing on your mind. You're going to think about it, but you're not going to be addicted because you're going to be engaged in a worthwhile work. You're going to be engaged in something that's progressing you in the right direction. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. So yes, he does need tips and inspiration, and the tips and inspiration he needs is not what the SR people and the NoFap people are telling him on the internet, because all of them are saying cold showers. Oh, you need to, whatever advice they give out there, guys. The only channel you need for SR is this channel. You're either willing to do the things that are necessary for you to become masculine, or you're not. Which means if you're not willing to do the things that will make you more masculine, then you're remaining in your femininity. You remain in your femininity, you're going to be remaining an addiction dude, right? You're going to remain in your addiction, okay? So, well, what is moving towards masculinity? Just like I mentioned, work, serving other people, okay? Being in an accountability type of relationship with people who are trying to help you out to grow and become better. So, in my opinion, that means having 3 jobs, okay? If you're at school as a 15-year-old, I'll get into this in a second. Well, let's just keep going for now, and we'll get back to it.
You need to look introspectively. This is going to get really deep, but it's probably the only way that you can solve your addiction, besides obviously going to see a therapist and getting professional help, because I can't do that myself. But what I would tell you personally from my advice is that if you're doing it 4 to 6 times every single day, think about that. 4 times minimum, 6 times maximum. That's a lot of life you're missing out on, bro. That's a lot of energy that you're wasting. I mean, you probably can't even, and you said it, you probably don't even look at people the same way anymore. You have to avoid social interaction. This is a really, really big problem. And the first step is always addressing the problem. You know this is a huge problem. So first off, I give you credit for even reaching out to me and telling me this. It takes a big pair to talk about your addiction. So thank you. Now, to solve that problem, I really don't think motivation, inspiration, or any NoFap video is going to help you.
Again, you have to understand that he needs hope. This kid needs hope. And he needs to have someone say that it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. The most important thing that you need to do is you need to find something that will get you out of your house, that gets you excited about doing something outside of your house. Okay. What goals do you have in the future? Like, if you could choose, how would your life look like? What are your dreams and goals for the next 5 years? What would you accomplish? If you could accomplish it in the next 5 years, how fired up outside your brain would you be? Okay, let's move towards that direction. Once your body is outside the house, your mind will make sure that you probably don't do a lot of that stuff, watching porn, masturbating in public, all that stuff. Most of you guys that are addicted to this stuff are not going to do that stuff. There are some of you that are like really deeply into it, and you begin to do really dark, bad stuff, okay? Hopefully, these videos, my channel will stop you from going on the exponential decline to becoming a sexual offender. Like, we don't want to go there, right? So you got to make sure, because the more feminine you are, the longer you remain in your addiction, the more likely it is that you will become a sexual offender. So you don't want to be in there. It's like I explain to people, is like life is an escalator, but it's going backwards, which means that if you're not walking in the opposite direction of the escalator going down, right, to exponential decline and death and criminality, right, if you're not walking faster than it's going down, upwards in the correct direction to increase your strength and to increase your exponential growth curve, you're going backwards. You're going down the drain. Okay, so this needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed ASAP. So I'm saying it's not a problem, but it's a problem. It's not a problem because it can be easily fixed if you apply the strategies that I teach on this channel, but it's a massive problem if you actually don't take action on the stuff that I tell you to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's move in the correct direction. Yeah, motivation and tip from someone who's been there, done that, and who understands, and you're okay. You just need to take those steps.
I don't think anybody on the internet can help you with this. This is serious. This is really, really bad. And if you don't address this...
Everyone's on the internet, Lucid. Bro, come on, man. There's someone in the world, okay? There's actually millions, maybe, okay? But there's someone on the internet who can solve your problem. And solving your problem, you simply have to submit enough, okay? Like he's doing. This kid is 15 years old. He's revealing secrets about his personal life to a stranger online, and like that shows that he's submissive enough or humble enough to actually take action on the stuff that he wants to solve. His body desire is soon, hopefully, going to be trumped by his desire for masculinity, his desire for riches, his desire to get the real love from women, etc., etc. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to take that body desire, which is a feeling. It comes and goes. It's not fixed. It's a up and down, right? According to your cycle, according to your reproductive cycle. But having that intense desire for success, that's what it needs to be replaced with. And that's what I'm trying to infuse in you guys who are watching my channel. It's like, bro, you need to get that passion for life, man. Transmute that desire. I got tons of information on this channel for you about that. But transmute that desire that you have for the bodily things for the long-term perspective. So that desire is just intrinsic in you to just massively progress. Okay, I'm on day 72 right now. I'm pumped outside my brain. Okay, and I hope that you guys can feel the power that comes when you actually live this lifestyle of progressing towards masculinity.
Take care of it starting today. After you see my response, it can go on for the rest of your life. You might be 35 years old. You might not ever get married if you want to. You might have kids, actually not show them any time or not show your wife any love because you're constantly watching 2 other people do it and fapping 4 to 6 times a day. So this has to be fixed literally today. And what I would tell you is, going about this, tips are not going to help. What you need is to look deeply, introspectively to yourself. You need to dive into the deepest parts of your mind and find out what it was that pulled you back the second time, not the first time. The first time, I don't blame you. If you're a kid, you see, oh my God, is that a naked anime girl? You click on it, and before you know it, you are introduced to this whole world of Satan, of just straight hell on the internet. So I don't blame you for clicking the first time.
I don't blame you for clicking the second time or the 400th time either. You're simply ignorant. Like, if you keep going back there, you're simply ignorant, right? If you're also not submitting to people who knows how to help you, that is also ignorance, right? Because there's 2 aspects to it. Someone says, or people say that knowledge is power, right? No, knowledge is potential power. Knowledge applied is power. Okay, so if you've got knowledge, but you don't apply it, you're just as ignorant, or maybe even more ignorant, than the people who actually apply it. No, wait. More ignorant than people who don't know about it. Do you get what I'm saying here? So it's basically like knowledge applied. That's when you know for sure that you've got the knowledge. But if you've got knowledge, you're not applying it, you've got no idea. So you're still ignorant. So the goal is moving to complete understanding, to complete truth, which is what masculinity is. Once you understand the full picture, you arrived, actually. You'll never understand the full picture. At some point, in this life at least, okay? But at some point, you will understand the truth, and then you're like, whoa, this is crazy. This is awesome. I love this. I love the truth. I know, man. It's amazing.
But you have to figure out what it was that pulled you back the second time. Why did you go back to that site after you finished the first day?
So what I'm basically saying about what he's saying here is there's no point in going introspectively to figure out why you went back or why you want this, that, and the other. Literally, there's no point in going there. You know that you are a guy, you've developed testosterone, you've developed sperm production, which you want to release it, okay? We've been given that power for a reason. We're extremely potent as teenagers so that we can learn to control our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's like we've been given a difficulty, a hoop to jump through to get towards success. Like your sexual desire is the most intense emotion you've got in you. And so when you manage to channel this one, when you manage to actually crack that code and move towards masculinity despite of those emotions, and then you eventually get to the point where you do it, you move towards masculinity with fire and power because of the emotion, then you're going somewhere. Does that make sense? Like it's the fuel towards your end destination. You using that fuel right now, wasting it to let go of it. I'm going to let go of my energy and let go of my potential, let go of everything that I want in the future and end up in addiction and never ever getting what I want out of life. Okay? No, it needs to be stored. It needs to be replenished. It needs to be multiplied. You only do that by living this lifestyle and moving towards masculinity and focusing on something else. You cannot be focused on your addiction. I'm addicted. I don't see anything else because I'm addicted. You're not addicted. You're just ignorant and you're not applying the truth, or you didn't even know that this channel existed. You didn't even know what the truth was. The truth is, masculinity is it. Move towards it. What is moving towards masculinity? It is work. Massive work ethic. And understanding how to think correctly. And learning how to control your thoughts and do things that you don't want to do despite, okay? You know, you don't want to do them, but you do it anyway. That's masculinity.
First day, it was not your fault. It was provided to you. It was given to you by these advertisements, by whatever it may be. And you accidentally stumbled across it. It might be your friends that showed it to you. But what was it that void did you have in your heart? What were you missing out on to the point where you had to... The website didn't load itself up the second time by itself. You went there willingly, with your free will, with your own action. You chose to go back to this site. So you really have to meditate every single day, minimum 30 minutes, no distractions, no phones, and nothing.
Meditation, really? 30 minutes? You have to do this every single day? Okay, first of all, like you watching porn and practicing PMO, you can't manage to get your right hand to do what you want it to do. How on earth are you going to sit inside your house and meditate for 30 freaking minutes? You're not going to do it because you can't control your thoughts. You can't control your emotions. You can't control your behavior. So you can't control meditating every single day for at least 30 minutes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not very good advice. No offense, Lucid. You have an awesome channel. You've got an amazing following. But just this advice is just not good advice. Like what a 15-year-old needs to do is to get the heck out of his house. And he needs to get, in my opinion, he should quit school. Okay? Like, I'm going to get to there because he's going to eventually mention that he needs to talk to his parents, etc. But I would quit school and I would get 3 jobs. Okay? That's what I'd do. But worst case scenario, if you can't get 3 jobs, and you're not allowed to quit school because of your parents, then go to school and have 2 jobs on the side. 1 every weekday and 1 on the weekends. Or if you're lucky, you have 1 job that allows you to work right after school. You work up until nighttime, and then you do the same thing the next day. The same thing next day. On Saturdays, you work 12-hour shifts. On Sunday, you work 12-hour shifts. You won't have time to fab. You're not going to be thinking about it. You're going to be exhausted when you come home, and you're going to be looking at your bank account, and it's like, things are progressing. I'm growing. I'm doing stuff other people are not willing to do. Your self-worth is increasing. The only reason why people are addicted to stuff is because they've got low self-worth. If your self-worth is absolutely amazing, your identification is not one of someone who's addicted. Like, the people who are addicted to PMO, the people who are alcoholics, the people who are smoking weed and can't get off it, the people who are just addicted to anything and everything, it is because they believe that I am this. I am addicted. You're not addicted. I am ADHD. I am autism. I am all of these things, the problems that all the people have labeled me as this, so I am this. No, you are not that. You are what your future holds. That's who you truly are. So don't beat yourself up over your past, because your past is not your future. Your future is who you truly are. So you just need to know for a fact that I'm gonna get my future. Like, I don't give a rat's ass what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm going to move towards there, and I'm going to find people who are already there, and I'm going to get their assistance, and then I'm going to listen and actually do what they ask me to do, because that is a proven way to actually get everything in life that you desire. Okay? You don't have to go through this journey all on your own, but you'll probably have to pay someone to help you to get out of it. I don't recommend therapists. I recommend success coaches. Like me, for example, who can share with you a proven strategy that actually helps you to get out of any addiction. It comes from you having an increased self-worth, an increased self-esteem, knowing that you will get everything in life that you desire because you are willing to learn, and you're willing to work, and you're willing to go through the motion, go through hell to get to heaven, doing those things that you're not willing to do. Because if you do that, you'll be able to control yourself to do the things that you don't want to do. Do the things that you don't want to do, because that will strengthen your fortification to not do those things that you do not want to do.
You have to dive deep into yourself. You have to ask yourself questions that you never even knew were there. Too much attention? Are you alone most of the time? What problem did you have in your life that allowed pornography to germinate and grow inside of your brain because there was a weak link? Putting this in terms of like a computer, right?
So I agree with this, like the question of, are you alone? You're not supposed to be alone, ever, okay? Don't do it. If you're alone, there's a problem. So, okay, I'm gonna give you guys my final tips.
You don't have an antivirus, for an example. Your hard drive.
He goes a bit too slow. I'm going to speed up the process, okay? Let me give you the straight up tips that you need if you're a 15-year-old, 13-year-old, 18-year-old, 35-year-old, doesn't matter what your age is. You guys are all the same, okay? But I have different problems. No, you have the exact same problems. Why? Because the universe has created us in such a way that we all need to learn the same lessons. Okay, the same lessons throughout our same life journey. It's just that people are on a different part of their journey. Okay, some people have progressed amazingly, and some people are still in their childhood. Okay, even though they're flipping 65 years old. So you need to understand this. This is the tip for everyone who's fapping 4 times a day, 6 times a day. Don't matter. This is what you need to do. You need 3 flipping jobs. You need to work 80 hours. People complain and say, oh, but if I work 80 hours and then I stop doing 80 hours, then I'll start fapping again. Why would you ever stop doing 80 hours? Why? Okay? Like, literally, the only time you should maybe stop doing 80 hours is because you've got a family and kids now and you want to spend a little bit time extra with them. And other than that, if you're still addicted to stuff, then you go back and you immerse yourself in serving other people, okay? At any moment in time, if you begin to get addicted, it's because something's not right, okay? People think that the 80-hour is an escape. It's not an escape. It's just shifting your mind towards something that is wholesome, something that is worthwhile, something that is helping people and making other people happy. If you make other people happy, you will be happy. If you're miserable by yourself inside your home, you're not making other people happy. You're making people depressed because they're already depressed. If you understand this information and you go out there and you serve the people who are depressed, they're going to be happy. That's going to make you happy. If you're happy, you're not going to be addicted to anything. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no need for you to be miserable and depressed when you've got this information that I teach you guys on this channel. So that was the tip number 1. 3 jobs working 80 hours a week. Why? So that you can fuel yourself with desire to never be in this circumstance again of having a job and working for somebody else. If you work 40 hours or 20 hours, whatever it is, and there is no, and you're addicted and your free time is wasted on all that crap, the 80 hours, you don't have any free time, so you don't want to be in that situation forever, which forces you to find an exit strategy. If you have 80 hours, 3 jobs, you'll find an exit strategy to build a business on the side of those 80 hours. And as you build a business, you can now replace the incomes of those 3 jobs. Do it. It will save you from PMO forever, in my opinion, especially if you've got a coach and you hire someone to help you achieve your dreams. Accountability. Those 3 jobs, they have 3 managers or bosses that are basically on your ass to actually get you to come to work and to never miss a day. Okay? And you're like, oh, I kind of want to stay at home and fap right now, but dang, I have to go to work or else I get fired. And if I get fired, then I have to find another job again. And I hated the unemployment process of trying to find jobs. Exactly. It keeps you going so that you're not addicted. Okay? If you are 15 years old, oh, but my parents say I can't quit school. And yes, the police will come and get you or whatever, all that stuff that happens if you're a kid. What happens? Well, talk to your parents. He actually gives an advice that you should tell your parents that you're struggling with this problem. In my first take, I was like, do you have to? But if he's fapping 4 times a day, this is a real problem, like Lucid says. What I would do is I would tell my parents and I would tell them, please take me out of school. What I need more than anything else right now is to work, is to just immerse myself in the process where I can develop skills and progress massively in my self-worth. At school, it's not working, okay? I'm being teased, I'm being this, that, and the other at school. I'm not feeling comfortable there. I want to become rich. If you have the vision, I want to get rich, that should fire you up more than being in that addiction. Okay, use that for your advantage. I have a video called Quit School on this channel. Go and check it out. Watch it 10 times because it teaches you specifically how to tell your parents that you want to quit school in a way that they'll actually say yes, okay? If you don't dare do that, if you don't ever want to do that, okay, then do what I said earlier, have school, but then straight after you go to work and you work until evening time, and if you fail it because of, you don't do your homework and stuff like that, do your homework in recess at school, okay? Just be smart about this. Get busy. You need to get busy as much as possible. Other than that, just increase your self-worth. All of that stuff is going to increase your self-worth. I hope you guys got a lot of information out of this one. You guys are absolutely awesome. And if there's anyone who said anything, I'll respond to that now. And if not, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you in the next one.